Good morning, students. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the radiolaria. The skeleton of radiolaria, which is siliceous skeleton. In our previous lecture, we have discussed about the skeleton in Pila and in Pelemon, which was made up of calcium carbonate and called the calcareous skeleton. And this is the siliceous skeleton. Radiolaria are actually some of the most complex extant protists. They are protozoans, indicative of high degree of specialization. They exhibit their cytoplasmic mass, which constitute the majority of the space within the cell, is divided into two regions separated by a perforated membrane. Look at this diagram. There are two particular regions. The extracapsular region, which is known as the cortex, and the intracapsular region, you can also call it the medulla. The first of this region is central mass, also known as the central capsule, and the second one is extracapsule, which can be called the cortex. This is a peripheral layer of cytoplasm surrounding the central capsule. The central capsule contains the organelles common to all eukaryotic cells, such as the mitochondria and vacuoles. While the extra capsule is characterized by its thread-like extension of cytoplasm, the rhizopodia. They, they can be called the exopodia. Aiding in the capture of prey, the rhizopodia are crucial in obtaining the energy necessary for the successful completion of the radiolarian life cycle. The rhizopodia are very important part of radiolaria. They have multiple function. Additionally, the rhizopodia act to increase the surface area of the cell, improving the rate of release of metabolic waste and the uptake of oxygen. The separation of the cytoplasm is thought to allow for increased control of the diffusion of large molecules within the cell, such as fat globules and organelles. Now we talk about the skeleton of radiolaria. Radiolaria have been studied extensively by paleontologists because of their well established presence in the fossil record. And this is the most important part of the radiolaria is the skeleton, which is made up of silica, and after death they accumulate at the bottom of the ocean and deposited as a huge biomass, which is called the radiolarian ooze. However, it is only recently that other biologists have become interested in these unicellular protists, and for the same reason the paleontologists were able to find and examine fossils of the organism. In the first place, their unique skeleton. The skeleton of it is the most important part, that the skeleton of radiolaria is made by silica, and because of silica they they don't regenerate biodegradable. So, crystallization from opaline silica, this unusual and often strikingly beautiful characteristics of these organisms is their primary morphological characteristics, providing both a basis for their classification and an insight into the ecology. As silica is an important material found extensively in the Earth's crust as a raw material, it is also vitally important to the protection and survival of radiolarians, as well as for preserving the record of their existence in the world's ocean throughout prehistoric and modern times. Silica, being a highly ceramic compound with a complex crystal structure, affords a very durable skeleton, and they are deposited at the bottom of the sea and made a huge biomass. It is because of this sturdy crystal structure of silica that the fossil record of Radiolaria is well preserved. Varying slightly from the subclasses to another, the skeletons of radiolarians are generally organized around spicules or spines, which are sharp, dense outcropping from the main skeleton mass. Formed from the fusion of many of these spines is the outermost skeleton, the cortical shell. Connecting this shell to the many concentrically organized inner cell are bars or beams, which also serve to straighten and support the entire assembly. Within and extending into the many chambers created by this complex structure is the single cell of the organism. And because of the skeleton, there are diversity in the radiolarian. Thought a radiolarian is a single cell organism. Each species is capable of producing its own distinctive skeleton of crystal silica. Skeleton may be spherical or cone shaped and may have spines or fins projecting from the surface. Radiolarians are found in many forms. Some of these are given in this slide. When viewed on a larger scale, radiolaria are incredibly diverse in the form their skeleton may take, ranging from spherical to rod shaped and radial to bilaterally symmetrical. Proposed method of production include direct chemical metamorphosis of the cytoplasm or perhaps secretion of a fluid from form of silica from the cell that later polymerize to form the skeleton. Additional research is being focused towards determining the benefits and selective advantage of producing a skeleton at all. The life cycle of the radiolaria is distinguished by its non-motile existence, and many of its morphological adaptations reflect the skeleton pressure towards increased buoyancy. These include the presence of lipids or fat droplets in the central capsule and extending into the rhizopodia, along with bubble like compartments filled with gases called the alveoli, localized to the extracapsular region. Together, these adaptations serve to decrease the density of the organism and thus increase its buoyancy. Hence, the cytoplasmic separation previously described may be intimately tied to controlling the buoyancy of the organism. So, this is all about my today's lecture, and today we discussed about the siliceous skeleton of radiolaria and the morphology of radiolaria, which uh, which are divided into particular region, the extracapsular region and the intracapsular region. And the skeleton, the skeleton of radiolaria, which is made by the silica. Thank you.